Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are doing predictions for TXT. In this video we have 3 questions. The first one is what is the current energy for the group. The second one is what is in store for the group's career and then their individual section. And then the last question is any advice and healing that comes through for the group. So let's figure out what is the current energy that TXT has. Where are they currently going? Well, we have the Magician reverse. Oh, we have Death reverse. And a couple more cards came out. Let's check them out. So we have the Six of Cups, the Eight of Swords, Seven of Wands, and Judgment reverse. So it seems like right now the group is currently going through a rough patch. They have 3 major arcana out of, half of them are major arcana and they're all reversed. So they're going through a very big journey, a very big important aspect of their career, or as a group they're going through something very big. It is very challenging and difficult for them right now. They're finding it very difficult to move forward or to get things going. So I'll go like this for now. So we have the Magician, which was the first card that came up. With it in reverse, it feels like they have everything they need to manifest and they have the skills to make their dreams come true. But right now the group doesn't really believe that, or they feel kind of stagnant. Like they feel that whatever they do doesn't really go as they plan, or it doesn't meet their expectations somehow. So with the Magician reverse, what does it say? We have skill. But with it, the Magician to me is a very good card for manifestation. And with it being here, it definitely feels like the group really struggles to make their dreams come true, or they feel like it doesn't really reach the standard they had put for themselves, or it feels like there's some stagnation here and they don't really believe that whatever they imagine or whatever they actually wish for will come true. So there's this sense of like not trusting that their dreams can come true, or feeling like they don't have the abilities to make them manifest in the 3D world. The card that came with the Magician was a Death card, which here it says release, but with it in reverse, it feels like many of them are resisting some sort of change that is meant to be a very big deal. So with Death, we're talking about rebirth. We're talking about a phoenix moment, right? Ending the cycle and starting a new chapter in their life. So that's a death and rebirth moment. So yeah, they're letting go of something and trying to push forward and grow from that experience, let go of that baggage that's holding them back, and then become this new person almost. But with it being reversed, I do feel that many of them are not aware that that's why challenges are happening, and others of them are resisting this change of becoming this new person because many of them are afraid of shedding some old skin off and kind of becoming this new person. There's something that is holding many of them back. I'm just not 100% sure what that could be. Yeah, we have the Six of Cups. So with the Six of Cups, here it says the past. So usually the Six of Cups represents childhood memories, or it can represent someone coming from the past. And with this card being right here, it feels like many of them don't really want to do the shadow work necessary to change, or are not even aware that that's what's happening right now. Also with the Six of Cups, I do feel that many of them could be healing or are not aware that they are encountering a lot of childhood wounds. So their inner child is not being nourished as much as it could nourish it or care for it. So there could have been dreams that they had when they were children, like genuine, very big goals that makes them impossible. But right now they're being with life, with society, and the whole idea of being logical and practical, it has kind of gotten in the way of their ability to dream big and dreaming for the impossible to come true and being able to manifest those ideas that seem impossible. So being able to be the magician, basically. Also, I want to mention we have Mercury and Scorpio here. So some of them could find it very difficult to articulate their thoughts and their emotions because they're super guarded. And by being that guarded, they're very closed off and they're not allowing their emotions to shine through. And that could make it also very difficult to be able to even understand what they're going through. Many of them could see this transformation and being connected to the past and their emotions as a sign of weakness, and that's why many of them could be resisting. And if that's the case, that is another sign, the way that Mercury and Scorpio could think of without even knowing. The other card that we have right here is the Eight of Swords with anxiety. So many of them are not aware that one of the biggest obstacles they have in their life right now is themselves. So their way of thinking, their way of viewing their life, their approach towards it is just overthinking too much. They're putting themselves in their own prison. Many of them are just stagnant because they don't even want to face what's actually bothering them, and they don't even really want to think about it. So this Eight of Swords kind of just shows that they're doubtful and fearful over this transformation because they don't want to open up, basically. So I do feel that many of them are resisting. Many of them don't even realize that things are not working out the way that they want it, because they don't realize that they are putting themselves in a position where it makes it difficult to manifest it. And by that I mean that they're not just being open to the different possibilities and the different ways their dreams can come true. They're very laser focused on one certain path and one certain way that has to be done, and that limits them on how that manifestation can come true. The other card that we have right here is the Seven of Wands with the resilience. So despite that, there's some people here that are powering through and trying to be brave and overcoming these fears and these challenges. Many of them are facing those fears, but that doesn't mean that they're being able to fully gone through the transformation of that phoenix moment that I mentioned. They haven't been able to shed that old skin or let go of baggage, but some of them are at least have been facing those fears, and at least are aware that there's an obstacle that they're facing. I do feel there could be a couple of them that don't really want to face those things from the past, and others are seeing it head on but are not really, haven't really gone through the whole process of overcoming those fears and actually healing those challenges from the past. Yeah, with the last card here we have Judgment with the keyword action. So the Judgment card talks about waking someone from their slumber. It is like giving them that advice or the inspiration or being able to wake them up. That inner calling from their soul is like being, rising and actually coming into action and putting them, get them going towards their goals and their mission. The Judgment card is a Pluto card, which is also Scorpio energy. So I do feel that many of them, this could manifest in Scorpio season, or it could have started back in the second half of October and the beginning of November, which is Scorpio season. So this transformation could have started last year and it's just bleeding into this year, and this Judgment card could just be symbolizing that many of them are just going through a spiritual transformation where they're trying to overcome a very important and big fear. Now this is fear that the whole group has, and they're all at different stages of it. I just don't really know what that could be. So let's go into the second question, which is, what is in store for TXT's career in 2023? We have new moon with a new start is coming, which it seems very positive in my opinion. So with the new moon, we were talking about a new chapter. So this year they're just going to be doing something different, something new. Yeah, on the bottom we have a full moon in Leo with don't let pride get in your way. I could see how pride could be what keeps them stagnant. So with don't let pride get in your way in a new beginning, it feels like the group is going to encounter a challenge where they will have to either work with people that they didn't want to work with, or admitting that they were not in the certain skill level or stage that they wanted to be in to succeed, or there's something holding them back. With pride, there's a sense of they feel like they have to do everything on their own, that they're not reaching out for help from other people that genuinely want to help them, or that they could actually learn from. So I do feel that the group has been very closed off somehow because of that pride. Their ego is super big or something that is not allowing them to actually see that they can learn from people that some of them could see as beneath them somehow. I don't really know how the group thinks or how they view things, but yeah, a new beginning kind of shows that they're going to start acknowledging the shadow work that has to be done to let go of this pride and ego of they have to do everything on their own, or that they're on the top of the top. When we have Leo energy and it's expressed in an unhealthy manner, Leos think that they're on top of the world and they think that they're untouchable, or this Leo energy can make them feel like the world revolves around them, right? But when you have a healthy Leo, you have someone that's very generous, someone that likes to be a leader, someone that's fair and just, and someone that it tries to actually have fun and just has a big heart. Someone that, Leos, even in a healthy environment, they like to be the center of attention, but when it's in a healthy manner, they like to be babied and they like people to look at them, but when it comes in an unhealthy manner, it comes with this rage and anger of you should look at me, right? So yeah, I do feel that the group is just working on letting go of their pride this year and actually opening up to get help from anyone and everything, and not judging where it's coming from or the background that it could have, and actually being able to see what people have to offer for their actions rather than rumors or however the world views them. It's actually, let me judge this person for who they are and how they present themselves in front of me rather than whatever prejudice they have of these people. So with that, let's go on to the second part of question 2, which is the individual predictions. So let's figure out what is in store for Subin's career in this year, 2023. We have Ghost. Bro, this card keeps popping up. So with him, he is one of the people that is definitely encountering the ghosts from the past. Something difficult and challenging is definitely coming up. He is encountering something that maybe he was not really fond of or he didn't really want to face. The current energy, he's very present in it. So the ghost talks about ghosts from the past coming to the present. He could really feel like he's in his head and he's thinking a lot, because this ghost card could, to me, symbolizes someone that is not present in their 3D, so they feel kind of invisible or they don't feel grounded. I do feel that in this case, his energy for 2023 is that he's going to be thinking so much that it disconnects him from his present moment. He's either focusing too much on the past or thinking too much on what the future could bring. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to be thinking of the past and the future, but it could be damaging if he doesn't concentrate and ground himself on his present 3D, because then he could feel like he's lacking a lot. It's like, why can't I be in that future that I imagined myself in? Or he's focusing so much in the past that it becomes a burden in his present moment. So he can miss out a lot on the present if he continues being disconnected. And again, that's just part of his learning experience. So I do feel that this year many of you will see that he's not super focused on what's going on, or he may want to have a lot of time for himself and not really be seen by other people, because again, he feels kind of invisible, so he will probably want to be by himself for a very long time and for very long periods, but that's because he's thinking a lot. So I do feel like he's just putting his thoughts and organizing them a bit better, so he's able to come into conclusions with what's going on with him, at least this year. So let's go on to the next person. What is in store for Jeonjun's career in 2023? We have Surrender and Rejection. So those two cards are actually very similar. They work very well together. So with the Surrender and Rejection, we have that for Jeongjun. There's this sense of this year he will have to kind of let go of control and let go of whatever expectations and ideas whatever plans he has this year, throw them out the window. They're not going to happen. So with a Rejection card, there's going to be a lot of times that he will not be sought out for, or if he's auditioning for something or there's something that he wants, a project he wants to be part of, he's going to be rejected. And he just kind of has to surrender to the idea that if things don't work out, there's not much else that he has to do. He shouldn't be too harsh on himself. There's no point in overthinking why things are not working out. He kind of just has to let it go, like butter. He needs to let things slide. If things don't work out, he just needs to make sure that he doesn't dwell too much on the negativity that comes from it. But yeah, with this Rejection card and the Surrender, it feels like the reason why things are not working out for him is so like that he gets a little bit out of his head and he becomes a bit more flexible with the opportunities that can come his way. So with the Surrender card, I always saw it as someone that was super laser focused, so this little circle, super laser focused on one way of doing something, and then as things don't, as they let go of their old way of thinking, their limiting beliefs and all of those things, they kind of expand their mind and this circle becomes bigger and bigger, and they give more room for, to be flexible, to allow things to go with the flow, and they kind of just allow this bigger circle that leaves more room for things to manifest and come in different ways, in different paths, in different situations. So I think the reason why he may be rejected a lot this year is so he lets go of this certain path or this certain idea of like things have to go this way. So whatever idea or path he's going on is so restricting. It's not good for him because gets in the way of how there's a bunch of different possibilities that his dreams can come true. And that's why, in order to force his mind open and allowing him to see these different points of view and these different perspectives, the universe will make a lot of his planned ideas to not work out and to not pan out. So like that, he's able to actually start seeing the different paths and branch out from his original path, not path, but his original plan, to then being able to reach his goals from a different angle and being able to take a different approach that is just as beneficial, if not better, and he doesn't restrict himself to a certain way of doing things. Now let's go on to the next person, which is Beomgyu. So what's in store from Beomgyu's career in 2023? We have movement. So for 2023, a lot of things are going to be happening very quickly. Yeah, we have comfort as well in the bottom. So with movement, this feels like a card. It looks like the Eight of Swords. My bad. It's not the Eight of Swords. What is it called? The Eight of Wands, which is supposed to be a fast-moving energy. It is like things are picking up. Things are finally moving. Things are, that stagnation period is gone and things are rolling down very quickly. But here we have 4, I guess, cylinders that kind of look, I guess it also reminds me of the Four of Wands. And that Four of Wands talks about home, talks about comfort, it talks about stability. So I do feel that these two cards put together kind of show the combination of the Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. So this year for Beomgyu is going to be a very good year. He's going to feel very comfortable to just get the ball rolling, get things going. There you go. Also with the movement card, I do feel that he's going to feel so comfortable with himself and where he's at that he will be able to, from his heart, take action. So do things that emotionally satisfy him, that fulfill him, that make him feel at home or make him feel fulfilled. And he's just going to get moving and he's going to get things going. So yeah, with this movement card, I was talking about the heart because it's green, and then we have this pink color that is like a gentle energy. So he's not going to push himself to take action, but he's definitely going to feel motivated and influenced to get things done and to take action towards whatever his goals are. And also with this movement card, since I talked about the Eight of Wands, I do feel that he's going to concentrate his energy and be a little bit more laser focused on whatever his goal is. So instead of doing a bunch of things at once, he's going to be able to concentrate his energy at whatever his target or his dream is and then go from there. And that's why things are just going to move very quickly, because now he is able to take action towards his dream without hesitating, but also he's focused on whatever that goal is, so he's not getting distracted. Now let's go on to the next person, which is Taehyun. So what is in store for Taehyun's career this year? We have isolation. So as I talked about focus, for Taehyun, it's going to be something similar, but it comes from stillness, funnily enough. And then we have abundance in the bottom. So with isolation, it feels like for Taehyun, this year is going to be a moment where he's going to be on his own a lot of the time. And why is that? He's trying, I don't know if he's doing it on his own accord. It could just be the universe putting him in this situation where he will have to be on his own a lot of the time, or this year he will have to be in isolation so like that he can bring his thoughts together, his ideas, and focus them. There is something that he has to learn, that he can only reach that, I think, thinking space when he's on his own. He can't be surrounded by other people because it distracts him, it influences him, and it gets in the way of actually getting in touch with what his thoughts really are. So he will have to be in isolation. And I usually see this card as like there's only one little point right here, one little dot, and to me that is supposed to symbolize someone that is finally focusing their energy and understanding who they really are, what their goals are, without the outside influence of other people. So this isolation card could feel like he's on his own a lot, so like that he can focus and center himself, basically. And then we have abundance. So with this abundance card, the reason why he has to be on his own is so like that he's able to acknowledge what his skills are and how to bring abundance to himself, but also being able to see the abundance he already has in his life and be grateful for it. So abundance can obviously manifest itself in money, but abundance can also be in life lessons, or feeling secure, feeling safe, or a bunch of opportunities coming through. So this is a card that is supposed to show that there's a lot of things good going on for him, and there's nothing that he should be afraid of, or there's nothing that he's lacking, because he already has everything he needs. So even if he feels like there's something off, all he has to do is just think about it differently, and he'll notice, oh, I have everything I need. So that's kind of like the main goal for him, or the main focus for 2023 for him. But with all of that said, let's go on to the last person, which is Kai. Let me just say it like that so it's easier for me. So what is in store for Kai's career this 2023? Crap, there's a bunch of cards. It's okay. So we have happiness. We have happiness, stop, and disruption. I saw the happiness card and I was like, oh, that's good. But then we have stop and disruption. Okay, I can see what's going on here. So with this happiness card being on the top of it, it's like he's going to be, this year, he's going to be pretty content, pretty happy with what life has to offer. This happiness card is an orange card. And orange is supposed to be a card that is filled with optimism and passion, right? It's the in-between of yellow and orange, right? And by in-between, I mean the combination of. So this happiness card is supposed to show that he's pretty happy. He's going to be pretty content this year. He's going to be pretty satisfied with what life has to offer this year in his career. And he's going to guide himself by just being content and happy. However, with the stop and the disruption, especially with the stop card, I do feel that he will be in a place in his life where he's going to be so happy, so content, and he's going to follow whatever his motivations, whatever his passions, or whatever is driving him forward. He's going to go so quickly that life will have to put a stop to him and put obstacles or detours like that. He doesn't do things out of being reckless and actually thinks things through a bit before he, I don't know, it's kind of like the energy of something that goes so quickly that it could spin out of control if there's not it's not put a stop to it. And also with this stop card, it kind of feels like, yeah, it can be a passion that is genuinely okay and he's just going for it, like, I'm chasing my dreams, right? But it could also come out of a way where he is pushing like a bulldozer, just going over everything out of anger. You know, when you want your dreams to come true and you're working so hard on it, but it doesn't give you the results that you want, or you're not seeing any movement or change, that you kind of go so quickly that it becomes this angry motivation that pushes you forward. And I feel that that's not the energy life wants him to be in. They want him to be genuinely happy, and that he takes actions when he is in a pretty content manner, not out of anger. So I do feel that this stop card is kind of like, oh, if you spin out of control, we will put a stop to it. And by we, I mean the universe. And also with this disruption card, it's kind of like one of the ways that life will stop him is by changing the direction that he's going in. So if he has, like, I'm gonna go from point A to point B, like that's his goal, and that's how he's moving very quickly, all of a sudden he's gonna go, instead in the middle of his path, he's going to be detoured to like point D or something, right? Like he's going in a completely different direction, because life is kind of like a train, right? There's a certain path that he's following with the trail, and then life just like pushes a button and it's like boom, he goes in a different direction. He's just moving forward, but life kind of just like taps him and nudges him in a different direction. And then in that direction is something that will be a bit more beneficial for him, something that could slow him down a bit, so like that he thinks about things thoroughly a bit better. So I do feel that with him, it's just making sure that he doesn't take actions when he's angry, and also to make sure that he's not being reckless about his actions this year. And as long as he's kind of happy and content, life will make sure that he stays like that, and that he actually works from this space rather from this space of wanting things to just be done quickly, or wanting some sort of change that could actually, you know, life wants him to be more cautious. That's it. More cautious and more careful. That's the goal for him this year. So let's wrap this reading up by checking any advice and healing for TXT this year. Oh, 3 cards. That was very quick. So we have faith in your dreams with a waxing crescent moon. We have full moon in Taurus with your dreams need a practical plan. And the last card is a new moon in Leo with confidence is your key to success. So it feels like there's, oh look, and then on the bottom we have full moon in Libra with a win-win outcome is forecast. So that makes sense with that last card that they got. So it seems like the advice for them, let me check the first one, I already forgot. So have faith in your dreams is it's the first thing that I kind of talked about in the current energy, being able to allow them their manifestations to come true and to happen by not limiting themselves to the reasonable or practical or this is what society usually goes for type of path. It's like kind of have more flexibility with their dreams and also having more flexibility with how their dreams can come true. So this is kind of like have faith in your dreams. It's like trust in the universe, trust in the process, and just go with the flow. That is like the best way I can summarize this card. And it's kind of like, go through your transformations, but do know that there's like this beautiful paradise that is being built for them as a group. It's like they can definitely make their dreams come true. They just have to be not only patient, but kind of work with the universe by not being so rigid and so strict and controlling of how their dreams have to happen. Or it's kind of like if they saw someone that they admire reach that same goal that they have a certain way, life is like, please don't limit yourself to think that the only way you can get to that dream is by doing the exact same thing that those people did. They have to work with the skills that they have, with the space and time that they're in, and with the people they're surrounded with. They have to kind of acknowledge that there's a different vibe and a different energy that they're working with. They're not working in the same situation and under the same standards as those people that they admire or as those people that reach that goal that they have. They have to keep in mind they're different people. They're in a different situation. They have different skills to offer, and therefore they're going to go through their own unique path, and they can still reach those goals. It's just going to look differently, and it's going to happen differently as well. And they have to kind of trust that their dreams will come true. It's just not going to happen the exact same way they saw somebody else do it. Now, the other card that we have right here is a full moon in Taurus with your dreams need a practical plan. So I do feel that some of them just need to be able to understand that they're different people, because to me Taurus is an energy of someone that truly knows who they are. It's a fixed, determined, but also very stubborn energy, and I do feel they need to kind of stick to who they are as people and what their goals are, and just trust, one baby step at a time to definitely reach their goals. And also with your dreams need a practical plan, I think life wants to make sure that they are aware of where they are right now and try to make their way towards that goal that they had in mind by being present. I do feel that many of them are very focused on how things didn't work out in the past and whatever their goal is in the future, but they haven't really been able to connect both pieces because they're not focusing on their present moment, what they have to offer right now, and what life has going on for them at the present moment, because many of them are not grounded and rooted right now, and that makes it very difficult to have a practical plan and actually do things that is within their power to make their dreams come true, right? The other thing that kind of came up with this card, because I was finishing that thought in my head of like, letting go of control, is like someone can be very controlling in the sense of like they want to be everywhere and do everything at once, and they may feel like they have to do everything on their own. That's a sign of being controlling, that it gets in the, again, they're so rigid and they're not flexible enough for their dreams to come true, and that makes it very difficult because there's just so many things within their power to make their dreams come true. There's some things that they kind of just have to live to the universe and leave up to life to happen. So if they have a dream of reaching a certain goal and let's say having a certain amount of love and stuff, they can't force someone to love them or to support them. However, they can just present themselves as, this is a person I am, this is what I have to offer, and then the universe will make sure that those people come through. And even the universe can force these people to care for them and love them, but they can definitely be like, oh, these energies are compatible, let me bring it forward and see if there's a click or a connection, and then boom, it happens, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's kind of silly to think that they can do everything on their own, right? There's some things that will be outside of their power and outside of their control, because again, we're all individuals going down our own path and all of those things. Oof. Now we have a new moon in Leo with confidence is your key to success. So they have to be confident that their dreams will come true and what they're asking for is something that is possible, even if they don't really know how to get there, or even if they feel at the moment that they don't have the skills for it or something along those lines. And this kind of goes with this full moon in Libra, where the win-win outcome is forecasted. It's like if they have confidence that their dreams are going to come true, then it will be more digestible for the waiting time, because there's some things outside of their power, right? So they kind of will have to wait for those things to manifest naturally. And life is kind of saying that they have to just kind of let go of control, be confident in their skills, and be confident and trust that things will happen if they let go. And then things are just gonna come into place. Pieces are gonna fall into place. Things are gonna make manifested. Dreams will come true. That's the main message for them. So with all of that said, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's hope the TXT continues going on their journey and lets go whatever baggage they have, so they're able to transform and allow this new beginning that is very promising for them this year to actually go through with it. I do feel this is quite the process and it's going to take some time. It's not necessarily easy to let go of baggage, so it makes sense why it's going to be challenging and maybe whole year type of deal, type of journey, I guess that's the best way I can put it. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. However that is. Expect individual readings for TXT sometime this year. And I'll see you then. Love and healing from my part to you. And bye.